Good afternoon, viewers. It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon in Abuja, the federal capital city of Nigeria, and we are broadcasting your darling program, The Polity, right from the Abuja studios of KAFTAN Television. And we are glad, I am particularly glad, that you are at the other end and we are here, and we do this together every working day of the week. And it's my pleasure to introduce the guest that I have with me today. To my immediate right, you'll find the journalist, farmer, entrepreneur. His name is Gabriel Enemali.
Thank you, viewers. Good afternoon.
Maybe we can break that to Enem and Ali. Now, the other one at the extreme end is Ambassador Moses Kolawole obisesan, real estate consultant, entrepreneur par excellence, and a public affairs analyst. He's been here on a number of occasions, and you can testify that he was a delight to listen to. And so this afternoon, we're talking about the state of the nation, so we'll be talking about a number of issues. We just try to run through some of them because a whole lot is happening at the same time, and we can't afford to lose grasp of the issues. In fact, apart from what we're going to be talking about, the news broke again today about the 5% excise duty that is going to be put on telecom services and so on and so forth, but we're not talking about that today. So today we intend to look at a number of issues, and I'll take them now, and then we'll take them each one after the other. We're going to be talking about the return of Mr. President, who was on leave on working vacation for 2 weeks. He returned over the weekend, and Nigerians expect that there should be a shift of gear, positively speaking. And we expect that some pronouncements will come into place, that some appointments will be made, that some people will lose their jobs, and so on and so forth. So Nigerians are highly expectant, and we'll be talking about that. And then we talk about also the Dangote, NNPCL, and 5 others suit. Even though there are denials, some people say there is no such thing, whatever it is, or Dangote says it's an old issue, they have paused the action, but we'll talk about it. And then we'll talk about if there's time, we'll talk about the Ondo upcoming elections, we'll talk about happenings in PDP, and then very importantly, we'll be talking about the VDM, the very dark black man, Martin Sose, and the Bobrisky, Idris Okuneye, and the Correctional Service, and the House of Representatives, all the drama around that. We'll be definitely talking about that. So stay tuned. Tell your neighbor it's time to fasten your seatbelt as you sit and watch us do justice to these issues, and you'll be glad that you are part of it. And at a certain point, we'll also invite you to be part of it as we open our phone lines for you to also make your contributions. We look forward very eagerly to that part also. So once again, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Angel Gabriel, you're welcome.
Angel,
and many times I don't know which one to start with, whether it's the Yunusa or
anyone.
And then Ambassador. Yeah. It's good to have you once again.
Thank you
very much.
Yeah. So viewers, will start with the very first one. You saw President Tinubu arrive back in the country over the weekend, Ambassador. And before he left, what we heard was that he wanted to go away from the dean, the hustle, the bustle of his office here, so that he can have maybe some quiet where he can look again, take a second look at his economic policies. And then there were speculations that he was also going to put finishing touches to the reshuffling of his cabinet, and maybe also make appointments to fill the vacancies in the foreign missions. Now that he's back, what should we be expecting? What do you expect?
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, viewers. I think I want to start by saying the president, like every other person, took a much needed break for 2 weeks, and he's just going to relax. That's what he's told us. We don't have any reason to doubt it, and he's just going to take the much needed break and rest.
No, it was called a working vacation.
Well, use the semantics, but the point there is that he needed to just take a break from Nigeria just to go out. And a few persons actually criticized, and some people are even saying it's 2 weeks, it's not back. Like no. I think we should take things easy with ourselves. I know that Nigerians are very much in a hurry, a whole lot of time. I saw when Peter Obi was saying that it's already 2 weeks and the president is not back. I think generally we should just be a little bit magnanimous with ourselves. You know, with it's a fairly large country with a whole lot of issues to deal with. Some you need to actually reach out to people right here within the country. Others you really need to consult even outside of this country. And so anytime, whether it's here or out, you can believe that it's working. We can trust that his time is ticking off, and he's got a very definitive time, 4 years.
Yeah,
4 years. And it is whatever it makes of the 4 years that people will now judge him with to know whether they want to give him an extra 4 years. I don't think anybody will want to waste it.
All right.
So I need to let that, I need to drop that in first, that the guy understands what is the time and is working round the clock to be able to really justify the time given to him.
Okay.
The mandate for 4 years.
The mandate.
So after that 4 years now, they will check whether he deserves another 4. Or they should ask someone else.
Ambassador, all that is very debatable, because in this country we do know that performance or non-performance has really never been the deciding factor for voting in this country. But beyond that, I like to talk about when you said a presidential candidate in the last elections, Peter Obi, tried to weigh in and say it's been 2 weeks, and you are saying we need some level of magnanimity in relating with ourselves. Yeah. Good point, though. But the truth is that in those days when I was growing up, government's word was next only to God's word.
Correct.
I mean, we have seen a whole lot of things in the recent past. They fix a public holiday. The public holiday shifts and increases of all kinds of dance, all kinds of very funny things have happened. So you can't take the word of government to the bank. You can't hang on it. You can't hold onto it. And I think that in this particular case, if they were definite and said 2 weeks, and the 2 weeks elapsed and he had not returned, they owe us explanation. It doesn't even need a Peter Obi. They just should naturally feel a need to explain and say, look, yeah, the president was supposed to do 2 weeks, but is extending by 4 days or whatever. And then that shows that they feel a responsibility towards the people. What do you think?
Well, first of all, it's unfortunate that we found ourselves in this quagmire. I challenge anybody to tell me how many other countries' president, even from West Africa, come to do holiday in Nigeria. You declare a statement October 1st, you say, Nigerians, I know you are hungry. You said it to our face. The following day, you jetted out. First of all, that's failure alone. You know Nigerians are hungry. You know Nigerians are not feeling fine. You know that everything about Nigeria is up and down, and everything starts and ends on your table. You left the country. Being a president for 4 years, you have 1,460 days as president, plus including all the holidays. Now you are telling us that the time is short. No, you say you feed do a local. Don't you know that the problem was there before you now said you want to do it? We don't have the time. For the last 5 years that this dispensation came on board, tell me Nigerians who are making it well. Without
soiling their hands, right?
Nigerians are hungry, Nigerians are sick, Nigerians are not. Well, you guys in the city know that he travel. We at the rural community don't know. The average man on the farm in the rural community is interested in getting money to take care of his farm for next season. The road is not there. No light, no water, fuel is high, everything is high. So he traveled. What is the difference between he traveled and he did not travel? What is the difference?
All right, okay. Now let me stop you there and ask now.
Yes.
Now that he's back, and now that you know that he traveled,
yes,
at least you know now, and you represent, you can be a voice for those people in the rural areas.
I am.
Good. Now, so what exactly do you expect?
I'm not expecting anything.
So you don't expect
that for the last 1 year, nothing. So I am not expecting, because I know him.
No, but people even change. People do change. I mean,
well, people do change. For they said Sunday will go good. Now from Thursday, Friday you go take no.
Okay, but sometimes they work like that.
They work.
Not be all the time.
But in Nigeria it doesn't work. If it works in other places, in Nigeria it doesn't work.
No, so
we don't need to be funny about this. It's hurting me.
Yeah. Because
the masses are in the rural community. So I come there and feel their pain. They are hungry. They can't go to farm. They don't have the capacity. They have gone to the farm, use their power and strength to till the ground. They've done the best. They cannot move it from the farm to the market or to the house. It's getting rotten there. Fulani or herdsmen are coming to destroy them.
You mean herdsmen, right?
So now this is painful. Then we now want to talk about our president travel, no travel. What has that got to do with the man in the rural community? He cannot afford to take his children to school. He cannot afford to take himself to the hospital. He cannot afford clean water. He cannot afford good road. You carry Okada tomorrow and the mechanic, the little money you have, you are finished with it. You see them all looking sick and tired.
So I need to.
I'm a realist. I'm a journalist, and my duty is to tell the world.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But are we going to then choose to drown in a pool of hopelessness and despair? Or we give the benefit of doubt that there will be a shift in gear?
Sir, how do you give a benefit of doubt to somebody that you do not see his planned program for the 4 years? You want to build a house. You have a pattern drawn by an architect. This is the plan for the house. Then you begin to hire people that are going to do all of this. Do you have the plan of Nigeria for the next 4 years? As his policy? Do you have it? Sir, if you have it, let me see it. The only thing I heard him say was renewed hope. First of all, which hope is expiring that we need to get a new one? Do we have the hope in the first place? These are serious matter, and we need to deal with it seriously. So there's no foundation that you want me because he came back. I'm not expecting anything.
Really?
The truth of the matter, go out there and talk. People are already tired. What do we do? And that is why I'm expecting other colleagues of mine to begin to report the situation as it is. Unfortunately, the rural community is underreported. The rural community is under-attended to. The rural community is undervalued.
All right. Now, Ambassador, you have said that there is need to give some space, breathing space to Mr. President and his team. And so, on still following that line, what would you expect having you said, first of all, that the man went to rest. But clearly what we're told is that he went to rest while, I'm walking while at it. And we must take that because that's the official position. But then we need to find out, what do you think that the average Nigerian right now on the street is thinking concerning this return, given the fact that we were made to believe that he was going to, he took that vacation to go re-examine his economic policies. It was particularly stated to go take a look, review his economic policies, and there have been speculations that he was going to put finishing touches, because shortly before then, the same spokesman who told us that he was traveling, a few days before, or about a week before, had told us that cabinet reshuffle was in the offing. So, where do you stand on this?
Okay, thank you very much. Especially my colleague here, I want to say that let's find a way to be able to chart a way forward as a country. All of us, irrespective of whoever is at the center. Tinubu alone cannot do it. Every one of us must play a part at a different level. Thank God you are a journalist, a farmer. For me, I'm a farmer myself. You know, my first degree is in agriculture, so I understand what it is. I feel your pain. I know what it is for somebody to have a farm, and because of insecurity, you have to shut it down. I had a farm in Kwali. how to shut it down. So I understand very well. I know what you're talking about. But having said that, the demands of Nigerians have actually been mainstreamed into seven spots. All of those who actually went on Anogogri, all of the unrest and all that, they put their demand into about seven.
Yeah, about 7 or 10
areas. And if you ask me, those 7 are still what is averagely expected here and there. I will
itemize them.
Yes, yeah. So, but then secondly, you spoke about the fact that there's going to be cabinet reshuffle. Cabinet reshuffling is at the prerogative of Mr. President.
Surely, yes.
As it's time, when he feels like it, if he feels like it, if he doesn't feel like it, whatever is his own, whatever should be everywhere, especially the government-owned stations, the NNPCL stations, mega station and all of that. It's not rocket science. It's just a technology that they connect to whatever you are having. It doesn't distort what you have right now. They just connect it to such that you can choose to use either. So we are not looking at it like this is rockets, whatever. It's just a little technology that could have been deployed. Because one of the biggest pain of Nigeria today is the cost of transport. The cost of transport makes nonsense of the new minimum wage. It doesn't make sense. When you say, oh, don't no longer take 30,000, start taking 70. But the cost of transport is not only double but quadruple. So there's a problem. You have only doubled my take home, my minimum take home. Yeah. But the cost of transport has actually made minimum. So there are a few things like that that could be picked and actually run with that, and it will make major significant impact on Nigerians. So for me, those are some of the things that, if in fact I thought he would have actually done this before the pronouncement. But also I know that there's a lot of tactical maneuvering when it comes to governance. Maybe the guys thought that yes, there's no subsidy in the budget before he came in, and it was going to expire in June, but he knew that maybe Labour and the rest will wait for him by June, and they were going to really hold him by his jugular, and so he made the pronouncement in May 29. All right. Now, whatever the reasons are, but the point for me is that May 29 last year till May 29 now, those buses should be on the road. Now, quickly, before I go to UNISA, you did say that it's the prerogative of Mr. President to choose his ministers and fire them or retain them as he pleases. Do they minister to his personal needs, or do they minister to the country? And if they are not ministering efficiently, effectively, and the people are groaning under their administration, under their performance, if their performance is not up to bar, shouldn't the president listen to the cries of the people and do the needful? Correct. You are right to say that they minister to the people, but also just like if you do an exam, the teacher has the prerogative to say you passed or you did not. Yes. So because the guy understands, I mean, the syllabus given to all, I mean, what percentage did I do? Maybe the syllabus, maybe the teacher only taught 60%. So it's going to base you on the 60% that he thought. Why every other person is looking at the 100%, they didn't do this one, they didn't do that one. But the guy realized that, look, with the resources within my catch, only 60% were able to do. So I will base their assessment on that 60. All of that, Ambassador, all of that is in the open space. No, people have idea of what is available, the resources. Come to you. Hello. Do you share that opinion? No. Please elucidate. Yeah. I'm a rural person. Yeah. You talk about CNG. Yeah. What you concern CNG and rural man? Won't it get to those rural places? We will never get to Abuja and rural man won't get to. I don't like to. I'm a straightforward person, because what is hitting us is real. Yeah, but you have also spoken, like he said, you have also highlighted the very important place of transport costs in all the metrics of these issues that we discussed. So why don't you think that the CNG buses will play? First of all, the CNG, you call it buses. Our rural road goods for buses? Okay. Do we have CNG conversion into motorcycle?
or keke, because that's the common thing you see in the rural community. You get what I'm saying? Anything you see in the town to buy has food stuff is taken from the rural community.
Yeah.
And the only means of taking them from the farm to the market is motorcycle. Because no, I have a truck. I can't use the truck anymore because the roads are bad. I have to drop it. The Okada that I use, when I'm done, I will always go back to the mechanic. Because the road too are.
And every single trip.
Yes, I have my video here. You see how communities have to come together with coal, a hole, to come and fix the road themselves. It's wrong. RAM, since the last 1 year, RAM has brought out all of these things to be done as rural access agricultural market project. Up to now, I don't think there's any state that have started. Only recently, Kogi State has just flagged it off. Now, for how long is it going to take to fix rural road? Whether we like it or not, road plays a very, very important part in whatever we do. So I'm talking as a person who stays with them, dine and wine with them. I just came back. You want me to come and change my vehicle to CNG from my place in Naimba to come here? I'll have to spend from 100,000 naira. If I have the 100,000, I'll take it to the.
If on the long run, it will save you costs consistently over time, is it not a better?
How can I?
But that's not even the road. I want you to come back to the point.
Yes.
About the hiring and firing of ministers, and whether or not it has an impact, or whether we have a right as a people to demand for that, and whether it has an impact on the living standards of the people.
The president is the chief executive of the country.
Yes.
He has the right to hire and fire.
Good.
You work. First of all, in this part of the world, we don't hire based on merit anymore. Because we don't do that. When I was growing up, we put our legs in the bucket because we want to pass our GCE so that we get admission on merit. Of course, you don't even have anybody who will go and plead to any VC or anybody for them to take you. You pass. You
put your legs
in the bucket with water.
So you don't slip off. Yes.
So you are reading.
No,
so
I needed that water.
Yes.
Pass.
No, we put it so that you don't slip off.
Yeah, you didn't mention the water.
Now, why we do that is because we want to pass our exams. And going to the university, you don't. Of course, our parents are not right. In fact, they send you. If you anyhow you go survive. But today the reverse is the case. They said it's political patronage or this or that, and that is why you cannot differentiate from making progress and not making progress. Instead of us making progress, we're actually going back. Yeah. So any appointment, as far as I'm concerned, that is not based on merit, I don't see. He likes. If you don't like, move on. No. So, because if he does not have that political will, number one, you see, I keep saying it, whether we like it or not, what Nigeria is really lacking is lack of law and order. And the president to have political will to stand his ground and say, this is what I want to do. Again, if I were the president, the first day I come, if only he's aware, SDG goal would have saved him all the trouble. Yeah. 1 to 17, Nigeria is signatory to them, or to it. And we have a presidency at the office at the presidential level. We have states, which is the focal person, and then we have DEX officers at the local government. This would have worked out smoothly for us.
All right, now, so in a nutshell, what you're saying, because what I do know is that where there is a choice to be made, if you make a choice is made, is recorded. If you fail to make a choice, it's also a choice. I hope you understand. Yes, it's also a choice. Yes. If in a place where you're supposed to say something, that's a choice. Yes. If you do say. If you refuse to say something, it's also a choice. Because what you have said, in effect, is that as far as you're concerned, you expect that the government will continue to run the way it has always run up to now. You're not expecting any improvements. Yes, you are you feel, and representing the people you represent, you believe that as far as you are concerned and your own constituency is concerned, nothing exactly is going to be fresh.
That's the truth.
All right.
No. For me, really, I feel the pain, of rural people that he represents, that he wants to represent. You know, I feel it in terms of having a road network. I mean, I went to my village the last time. I said, wow, this is something else. You understand what I'm saying? I feel the pain. However, I do not believe that we should give up on hope. I don't believe so, because we don't have the luxury. Look, that Tinubu is there today. It's not Tinubu's matter. It is the fact that our future is on the line.
That's the very point.
So for me, it's not. We will keep encouraging. We will keep pointing him. We will keep guiding him. We'll keep doing all that we got to do so that he gets it right. It's not a matter. Look, the moment we've elected him, politicking should stop. Governance should start.
Yeah.
And for me, the issue there is, we have just common thing. You have talked about SDG, fantastic, whatever that can be a roadmap. I get you. And also, even some of the demand, about 7 or 10 point agenda for those who have been agitating for we no go green, we no go rest, and all kinds of stuff. They are there. They are simple stuff. They are just saying, create jobs for the youth, bring opportunity.
And you have said, you have talked about the value chain of the agri sector that can provide hundreds of thousands of jobs, if not more.
Correct. Value chain agriculture. When I mean agriculture can create alone, petroleum cannot, crude cannot.
Yeah.
Number 2, are you talking about? Let me just take one product. Cashew.
Let him just conclude his thoughts.
Yeah.
Let him just conclude his thoughts.
So for me, really, is that all I'm asking us is that, can we get organized? If you pick what needs to be done in the rural side, you can go on and on for 2 hours, 5 hours, and you're talking, and you're correct. If we pick some of the things that needs to be done, even the CNG you're talking about, if we go on and on, you will see the impact. Because there are some things that hit on macroeconomy, there are other ones that hit on the microeconomy, and there are other ones that just hit on job creation. They may not produce so much of wealth, but they give jobs to people. So people are really engaged.
They facilitate the creation of that wealth.
So there is a whole lot, and every one of them are actually important. For me, they say give Nigerians road, give them water, give them what's the other one? You know, they say leave them. They will still survive. Correct. They will survive. Maybe I'll put light,
power. Yeah.
Power.
Yeah.
So road, power, and water. Nigerian will do the rest. I get it. But all I'm saying here is that the last thing that you said, that you are not expecting anything. No, I think you should move away from that, especially because you play a leadership role where you play. Look, let me tell you our starting point. It must be at the election spot. Anytime we are thinking of a massive change, we got to ensure that from the councillors, we get it right. About 10,000 of them, 9,000 plus councillors, every Nigerian is mobilized to get it right from there. If we get it right from that point, we move to the next one, which are the chairmen. We get it right, and gradually we move up. But what Nigerians do is that they go to sleep. Several, the people that elected Tinubu, they are not up to 5% of this country.
Oh, okay.
They are not. So if 5% have chosen, 95% didn't do anything about it, is the president. I mean, legally.
Yeah.
And so he remains the president.
We'll bear the punch.
So I am saying that get it right at the point of election. If after the election, find a way to support the man there with ideas, with all kinds of ways for him to get it as best as he can.
For all of us.
For all of us. Because if he doesn't, you will be affected.
You were making a point shortly a while ago. Let's have it.
What was that again?
Yes, you were telling us that you are not interested in. Okay, you were telling us about the value chain.
Yes, value chain of agriculture.
Yeah,
both direct.
And you said you want to talk about cashew.
Yes, I want to talk about cashew. That
will be your last line on this particular one.
Cashew has 3 lines of benefit. Food, that is economic benefit, and then environmental benefit, and then health benefit. Cashew has over 42 products. A lot of people don't know. 42 products. You use the nut alone has about 10 or 15. The shell, that is the most expensive, that is used for hydraulic, brake fluid, shoe polish, paint, anti-rust, soliglum, and so on and so forth. Anti-snake. I'm talking about the shell, that's the crude of cashew. Now the residue is for charcoal. I have them on my phone because we do them at the rural community. We have presented them to the CBN. We have presented them to all that matters. Nothing. 2, when you talk about the juice, you have cashew juice, that's the apple, the one we saw and throw it away. That is the juice. That is the ethanol. That is the jam. That is the brandy. That is the whiskey. And once you remove all of the residue, it's like meat. If they cook a goosey or another soup, you won't believe that it's not meat. We do that locally. Now, look at cashew. There's what we call climate change action or mitigation. There's carbon credit that is attracted to. Ministry of Environment and Agriculture should take advantage of this to attract support to the farmers that are planting it. They said gas emission. How many gas rural man they throw away? So they throw, rather we are even the one protecting it. And that is why most times it annoys me when I hear Ministry of Agriculture, that is the umbrella body of ministry that supposed to be that is supposed to produce agricultural farm produce, whether cash or food crop. They don't have a demonstration farm. Is that not a shame on us? And that is why anything they like, they just dump on us. Now, the value chain I have just mentioned, because of time. Yeah. If you want, I have it because I am deeply involved. Yeah. Now, on this same farm, there are so many crops you can farm on it. Palm tree, ogbonna tree, mango, guava, banana, maize, cassava, and yam, so on and so forth. So there's a huge a lot of opportunity. Yeah. At every season, there's something that you go home with. At every season. Now, our association is called Cashew Farmers, Aggregators and Processors. How much are you paying for that advice? No, I'm trying. So it's not about what I am to, but what I'm saying is that we have been able to put the youth, women and youths especially, SDG goal number 5, together to get them busy. They aggregate, they process, rural processing. And this is what we're saying. Get these people busy. Sir, if you come to my area during a season, if you are not prepared with your own mobility, you will be stranded because there will be no Okada man. They prefer to go to the farm to go and harvest because you make more money than risking your life on the road as an Okada man. All right, now we need to move forward because we have a whole number of issues we have intended to take on this afternoon. But I will invite you, dear viewer, to begin to make your call on this while we move to the next one, and we'll take your call 080-299-38365, and we expect that your own contributions will also come so we can together build this nation to what we exactly desire. Now quickly we go to the next one. Yes. And we're talking about I think let's bring this up. The VDM Bobrisky, VDM Martin Sose alias VDM, the very dark black man, and Idris Okune alias Bobrisky, and then we have the correctional service involved. We have the House of Representatives and that whole saga. Now, there have been all kinds of expositions and all kinds of counter expositions, denials, and everything. Now, maybe we should start this way. When you heard or watched the tape, the audio, what do you make of that audio? I mean, the audios that have been released thus far by VDM. Do you think there's an element of truth in it? Please do call again. If you tried before, let's have your call. We'll take it intermittently. Yeah. Immediately I saw the video. It gives me that in-depth level of corruption in this country. How corrupt our officials are. And my joy is that the Minister for Interior quickly suspended some officials. You're right. And I was expecting to see more punishment to those who have committed one thing or the other. Right. And all you start seeing is counter accusation, no counter accusation, I will sue you, I will not sue you, and all of that. In a country where system works, this shouldn't be. That's SDG goal number 16. In a country where system works, you don't need anybody to wake up and do the right thing. They sent you to the prison, you don't go prison, you go see that. The guy came out looking healthy. I mean, robust.
Fresh.
And immediately I saw it, I concluded, I said, which country is this guy go now? Until I saw that. But what I'm trying to say is that because we have that, I mean, we lack law and order, anything goes. So I wasn't surprised. I said, maybe when you get your money, you buy.
So as far as you're concerned, you believe...
When I saw the audio and I put it on, because I have this guy's video, I put it on my editor to check, I mean my machine, to check whether the audio is right. It was his voice.
All right, okay. Now, a panel that was set up by the Interior Minister came up yesterday saying that whereas what came out in the open originally through VeryDarkMan, and possibly, of course, based on the audio tape, was that Bobrisky was never in prison. But the panel's report says he was indeed in prison, but he enjoyed excessive privileges that are not normally given to prisoners, including that he had a humidifier, he had his phone, he had, I mean, his friends and relatives had access to him as he desired, and he was self-feeding, and then, which means he didn't touch the prison food throughout, and then he had inmates who ran errands for him, for goodness sake.
But sorry to cut you, there's not James Brown. Is it Jim or something Brown?
Yes.
A cross-dresser too, who wanted to see him.
And they didn't allow him.
He didn't allow, and he didn't even see him.
Good, but
according to what you're saying, that they allow relatives and friends to see
him.
So why didn't they allow him to see it?
No, that will be something else for another day. Ambassador, how did you put the tape side by side with this report and tell us what your...
Okay, on the flip side, I want to look at it from the flip side, and the flip side actually had to do with how very respected Femi Falana was brought into this saga. Okay. And how his son also, the role played and all of that.
Yeah.
For me, while I commend VeryDarkMan for standing up to want to say, look, I want to blow the whistle, and I want to do the right thing, I want to do all of that. I want to say that even all of that must be done very, very cautiously. Okay. So that while you're trying to expose the ills of the society, please do not drag any name to the mud unnecessarily. Because during all of the back and forth, Femi Falana came very clearly to say, you know what? My son, I mean, this guy, I mean, the Bobrisky actually reached out to my son and they wanted to, you know, reach out to me, but I called the bluff. I mean, I just told them, no, I'm not interested. You guys should forget about my point there. But because of what VeryDarkMan said, you have to sue him. Just say, look, you must be careful with blackmail now. You must be careful with character assassination. I am saying if there is any evil that needs to be brought to the fore, please bring it without any whatever, but be very sure of your facts, so that as you crucify the 90% or the 9, don't drag that one that is not it. Yeah. Because for now, as the whole whatever unfolded, he had to offer some apology, you know, quickly. So for me, the thing is just that I commended him for ability to brace up to speak to the heels of the prison what's it called
system service.
But while you do that, don't be careful that you don't mess up people who really...
All right, good. I'll still take you. Was that the creation? Was those things the creation? Hold on, please, Yunusa.
Okay.
Was the involvement of Falana, was it the creation of VeryDarkMan?
No. Let me tell you, if you pull wasn't directly the creation of Femi Falana. No, it wasn't directly the creation of VeryDarkMan. But there were actually certain things that Bobrisky, I mean that Darkman said that actually why did Femi Falana ask him to go and to tender apology?
No, because he felt his.
Why? I'm calling. If what he said what never affected him, he wouldn't have asked him to do a public apology.
No, you are not answering the question.
Yes,
we agree It affected Falana. I'm sure you agree that it affected Falana.
Yeah.
But the point is, who should be responsible for that between Bobrisky and VDM? Whose creation was it?
It was Bobrisky that mentioned Falana, not him.
Look,
he only played conversation.
What was spoken? That's the point I'm making.
He only played conversation.
We're going to have to take this quickly.
And then he was
both of you, please hold your thoughts. Yeah. Hello, you're welcome. You're the first caller on this show this afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Ode.
Right.
Calling from. My name is Ode. Calling from Crossroad.
All right. Let's hear your contribution, please. What? I guess there's a problem with the network, actually. Yeah, because one or two or so have also called before and we didn't get around. So, where were we? so
we're talking about the recording.
Yeah, somebody is only playing what has been said. So that's why I asked you the question: who created it?
Listen, he played a tape and explained what that tape is all about, and he took it to the
a little bit further. And
so this person is saying that tape you played, your explanation of it to the public is wrong. That's what he was suing for.
Let's see if we can do this now. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Your name, please. Okay, you're the one that called before. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
The state of the nation is so bad, and I just wanted to ask the minister they suspended from Cross River.
Yeah, the humanitarian affairs.
I don't know what's happening to that ministry, and this is the time when we really need that ministry, because the hardship of the nation and all the things is overwhelming. So I don't understand what the president is doing about that minister for humanitarian and something I've forgotten, but you know the minister I'm talking about.
Poverty eradication, yeah.
So I don't know the situation of that ministry. I don't know what this is the time we need the ministry when things are so hard.
Well, all right, Ode. Maybe you should hang up and then watch. The point remains that even though the minister is not in office, the ministry is not shut down. They are doing all kinds of, the programs are on. The point will only be that if he has not felt a touch, but the programs are on. The ministry is still working. Yeah, but there's no head.
New minister designated to that.
Not yet. You're still on.
That means the ministry is still under lock and key.
No, not so. It's not so.
The minister
will definitely be.
But the ministry is still running.
Tinubu. You see, this our government of. We should go back to this the UK kind of government, the parliamentary system of government, where these men will stand. We will see Tinubu asking these questions. Because this immunity is killing us. This democracy we are practicing is killing us.
Okay. All right.
Tinubu, he just sits down in his office. We are not even seeing him. He's not even coming out to address. He just sit down there, they video him, and he just talk all sorts of nonsense.
No. I won't take. We won't take nonsense. That's not a word to be spoken on air, especially when you're talking about the number one. Whether we like it or not, and that's the point you were making, we have a president who symbolizes, who's the face of the nation as of today, and we must give every respect that office demands. So we can't have such a word. So the point remains, and like I said before, the ministry exists and the ministry is functioning. There will be some roles that are supposed to be of the ministerial category that most probably are not being handled right now. But I know that the NSIPA, Nigeria Social Insurance, program, still have programs that are going on. So, but it's important, of course, to reappoint somebody if the investigations have been concluded and she's found wanting. It's important that she should be replaced. Now, so quickly, as we were saying, has asked you, okay, let me turn the question to him. Whose creation was the involvement of Falana, Fowles, and
Bobrisky? Bobrisky, what's his name? Very dark man. Black man.
Very dark black man.
He only played a conversation.
Yeah.
For a long period before he started talking. That this is people that are involved.
Exactly.
He only explained.
But though I know that the legal position is a bit tricky because the person that now brings it into the public domain might be the one that will suffer for it.
Correct.
Yeah, but the creation is definitely by Idris Okuneye.
But why don't we? You see, one thing I noticed in this country, we love to chase shadows instead of the main thing.
That's where I want to go to. Shouldn't we have interrogated a lot more what truly transpired before talking about this personality of Falana and all that? For example, if what they say, I'm sure you know about this proverb that a free conscience, or how is it said now? A clear conscience doesn't fear any accusation. On one or two occasions now, Bobrisky has been invited to come at least tell us his side,
which he never
did. Yesterday he was invited also, but rather than go honor the invitation, he was found at Semeboda running away. So that must be a signal that there's actually something that he's running away from, which, quote unquote, the truth. It looks as if somebody is running away from the law because he's running away from the truth.
Let me give you an example. I did a report on a primary school that when pupils were on the ground, and my governor came after me. And I said, in as much as I'm a reporter, my duty is to report, your duty is to fix. They said they will kill me. I said, person will die twice. Die and I die. But at the end of the day, I was vindicated when the United Nations intervened. So what I'm trying to say is that we should drop all this matter of sentiment. Let's follow the real thing. That is why I keep saying, because there is no lack of law and order, we will not get anything done. No, sir. Let's take this guy.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yep.
I'm calling you from Abuja.
Please, can you move away from your TV set or put down the volume very low?
Okay. Are we together now?
It's better.
Okay. So I appreciate this program I'm watching right now.
Thank you very much.
Yes. The man that spoke about cashew.
About cashew. Just before you go on, you've not told us your name. You just told us that you are calling from Abuja.
Okay. My name is Mrs. Akosi from Abuja.
Mrs. Akosi?
Yeah. Akosi, A-K-O-S-U.
All right then. Quickly, go on.
Yes. The person that spoke about cashew, I'm impressed because these are Nigerians who are very hardworking people. These are people that have on their own organized themselves to bring up issues that if government leverage on it and bring investors in that area, a lot of graduates that are looking for a job now will be buried in that. You know, no one will know that cashew can produce this number of produce or products that he's talking about. But all this happen as they advise. It doesn't just go to the drain like that. It shouldn't be like that. Let's encourage people. Let the nation, let the government encourage these people that are doing this and making things easier for them to make things work in this nation. We are not poor people in this nation. What we are lacking is the implementation of things that people have gone through and brought up ideas, good ideas that will bring this take this country forward. My advice is that the government should look into things like this and make the effort of such people not to be a waste.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you so much. Now, you have that. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, my name is Michael Okon. I'm calling from the city of Cross River State, Calabar.
Michael Okon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm calling from the city of Cross River State.
All right, go ahead.
Architect Michael Okon.
Architect, yes. You're welcome. Let's hear your point.
Okay. I'm sorry to start by saying that I cannot follow these lawyers that under Nigerian law specifically. Now, 1999 Constitution
the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. That section 39, subsection 1, guarantees the right to freedom of expression, which includes the right to disseminate information. Now, in this sense, you cannot sue the publisher. You cannot sue the publisher, which is the very dark man.
Okay.
So, yes, the publication. Let me cite the case of saying publication LTD, status or Enconium Ventures Limited, 2000.
Go ahead quickly.
In the case of BT 691, now in the case, the court upheld that freedom of expression is constitutional guarantee, but it must be balanced against the rights of others.
Of course.
However, the way the subject matter of the publications of public interest, especially corruption, this freedom is more widely protected, which it has to do with what the very dark man has done. Now, let me explain. If the publication is related to corruption, a matter of public interest, this right can serve as a defense. Now, this is because under Nigerian defamation law, a key defense mechanism is through justification, not treated as an excuse. That which means if the content of the audio published by the very dark man, it is factual and can be substantiated by the petitioner, then the San Falana claim will fail as Nigerian court recognized true as a defense in defamation proceeding.
All right.
Now, in the case of, let me take you back to the case.
We don't have all the time. Architect, we don't have all the time. You would need to round this up so we can make some progress. But you've made some very valid, very strong points that points the way forward, even if VDM was listening now. So I think that you should round it up at this point so we can move forward. Thank you very much.
Okay. Let me quickly round it up. Now, I want to say that for the more we have in Nigeria what we call qualified privilege, which applies to publications making in the interest of the public, especially where corruption involving public officials is concerned. So the publications made in good faith, especially regarding matters in the public interest and protected by quality privilege. Please note that the keyword in the proceeding is protected under qualified privilege. So court are supposed to
Architect, we have to go now. Architect, we have to go now. You're doing very well. You are on. You probably are undergoing a law course somewhere, and I'm sure you have wowed your listeners right now, including myself. Thank you so very much for coming on the show. And so, gentlemen,
my question is that when Bobrisky was invited to the National Assembly,
yes,
he didn't go. Why? Twice. When they needed to see him, the next place they would see him is
at the border.
What's he doing there? Come on, look, we should, I keep saying it, we should drop sentiment, we should drop emotion, we should drop chasing shadow. Let's face the substance and make sure that we tidy our nation together. A lot of people are corrupt. A lot of people know that this, if it does come up, so many people will end up in the prison. And that is the reason why they're, middling in it. They don't want to fix it.
Now, whoever wants to, no, let's do this.
Okay.
Now, shouldn't we be very interested as a nation into certain aspects of that revelation that are still in darkness? For example, if somebody referred to somebody as a godfather who was able to ensure that a convicted person did not have to go through the proper prison experience, who is this? Shouldn't we be looking for how to unveil the personality of this godfather?
That's my point.
Shouldn't we be interested. Architect, don't you think that's one of the areas that should be of high priority to us? Quickly, in 10 seconds, because we need to quickly come here.
Basically, we should be interested, and the House of Reps will delve into this matter. Government looked into it, they set up whatever, and they are saying these guys are clean, except if you have any other process.
No, they've not said that to anybody.
No. They just simply said that this guy, Bobrisky went through. through the prison.
It was in prison,
but it was given privileges.
Yes.
Initially, some people went to the media to say he never did.
Like,
and
exactly.
they are saying that, look, we have others who actually did what he did.
I need to put this in proper.
Yeah.
Whoever went to the public and said he was not in prison were only repeating. They were only what do they call? They were only repeater stations for what is contained in that audio. Because it was Bobrisky. I mean, if we can establish that that's his voice, it was he himself who said, "I'm not in prison." Quickly, let's do this.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Mr. Udubu calling from Abraka Delta State.
You're welcome. How's Abraka today?
Abraka is very fine, sir.
All right, so let's have your contribution.
Okay. My contribution is that, you see, it's kind of a segregation that will be encouraging other people who have little money to, you know, kind of misbehave, commit unnecessary crime, maybe murdering somebody and think when you go to the prison, you can be on a VIP. How will somebody with so different charges of, you know, this kind of issue be kept aside? Other family members are coming to see you, you are making calls, doing all sorts of things, and you don't take phone to a prison yard at the first place, living outside the prison premises. So I, for one, my contribution is that those people who have been paid for such kind of act need to be brought to book so that other people will learn from their mistake, not to be part of such a, you know, kind of a coalition.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think I need to make myself clear.
Yeah, okay.
I don't mind whatever Bobrisky needs to go through to be able to actually pay for whatever his deeds are. That's not my issue. I'm only saying that anybody who, I'm only talking to the very dark man, that look, if you want to unravel things, be careful. There's only a thin line between right and wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that even as you're saying, look, alleged, you can say, okay, you know what, we heard this, or this is alleged. This is what I think that's
you cannot get into trouble.
Yes,
because you can have a good case and ruin it
correct
by yourself by some extra. Yeah, I agree with you.
Because that's the only place where this guy hit back.
I think there were some extra comments that VDM made that can be very infuriating, though. And of course, any other person in VDM's position could have made such remarks also, but the truth is that everybody would learn from that right now. In his own words,
because sometimes we must be careful. We have freedom of speech, freedom of all of that, but where your freedom ends, that's where the other person's beginning. So you must be careful that you don't cross the line.
That's correct.
So that people also don't take it and run
again quickly. Even talking while we're still talking about this, it's interesting also. We must take this part of the story. The fact that Bobrisky was a first-time offender, and the offense that he was being charged for and convicted for had to do with misuse of the Nigerian currency. And yet, at a point, he had to go through the maximum prison. For a first-time offender, it looked like killing, using a sledgehammer to kill a fly. And ordinarily, if indeed it's a correctional service, and if that was what really transpired, I like us to talk about it. Was that the right thing to do? Because if you want to reform someone and you take someone to the midst of hardened criminals who are in the maximum prison, I think that something is really wrong with that. In any case, when the case came up, many people thought he was being charged because of his cross-dressing, whatever, which sends sometimes signals of maybe some some funny sexuality. But none of that didn't come up throughout. Now, you also need to connect that, and I hope you're listening, UNISA too. There is also the part where, for example, it was alleged that the EFCC originally charged him for money laundering, which most probably would have been maybe something on which basis it could have gone to the maximum. But that charge did not stand, as it was later removed. These are a whole lot of, and I think I'll expect that you weigh in on it.
I think all of this is still with our judicial system, with our, our system is really, you see, somebody sang, he said, people will steal Maggie, they see their face for TV, but they always steal money for crime fighters. You understand? So basically that's the thing. Look, if somebody has done something mild, come on, man. Give him a very mild sentence.
Let's take this.
Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. What's the name, please, and where are you calling from?
Dene from Boko, Benue State.
All right. How's Father Alia doing?
We are fine.
All right, then. Let's quickly have your take.
Okay, sir. I want to tell you straightforward that unless this country will go back to the law before we shall progress. Yes. All these things you are seeing, no country that progresses without the rule of law, it was done. Yes. So please, tell the leaders, if they don't want to obey the constitution, then they should amend it so that they should stop this deceiving the younger generation. So please, no country that will progress without observing the rule of law. This is very bad. What are we teaching our children?
No.
Our teachers, we're just messing around. How can you be telling the children or the younger generation to do the right thing while you cannot do the right thing? So please.
All right. All right, thank you.
Yes, they should tell the leaders to do the right thing so that we shall progress. Thank you.
Well made point. Thank you.
I said the lack of law and order is our #1 challenge. I was in Cote d'Ivoire, and while I was talking to some investors, I said, why don't you come to Nigeria and invest with all of this that you're doing? He said, your country, do you have law? If I lose my business, where is the judiciary that I'll run to? Case closed.
How can the case be closed? You didn't defend your country.
How can I defend my country when I know they know?
Hello?
So, your election that is happening,
let me just do this. Dear viewers, if you intend to call in, it's very important that you put down the volume of your phone or of your TV set and move away from the set as much as is possible. Else, we can't have, there is a no-deal situation. I think that needs to be made, and we already know this. Hello?
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
No, Father, the same Ibrahim Mustafa that is calling back.
Okay.
For not worrying, the volume.
Even now, it's still low, it's still high, and then you are close to it.
Okay. It's off, completely off now.
All right, go on.
Okay, thank you very much. Ibrahim Mustafa calling from Google.
Okay.
My contribution in respect of this particular discussion now is the issue of law and order is the fact that no nation can survive without it.
All right.
Then, not as if we don't have this law and order, it is corruption that is undermining it. That is blocking implementation of this law and order. So the question now is, how do we fight this corruption? Each time any government comes in, it sets up a monitoring organization to help to fight this corruption. Like EFCC is meant to help to fight this corruption. But the EFCC is being undermined. Like this example that we have seen now, that of this cross-dresser, Bobrisky. Because the EFCC too seems to have been indicted in this whole saga. So how the question is, how do we fight the corruption? I think this is what we should address, not the issue of law and order. When you talk of law and order, Nigeria has almost a perfect law, but to implement is a problem.
So, my friend, let's put the question to you. How do we take care of this corruption? Just before you go.
I think the issue of fighting corruption has to be looked at holistically, not only from the point of view of the presidency, on whose table the whole bus talks, but from the point of view of the individuals. I'll give you an example of the civil service. You see, the civil service is the most corrupt apparatus in the country.
I want to believe you have your facts, yeah?
To the civil service daily, and they are being co-opted into this corruption. To the extent that no civil servant talks of his salary today. Everybody talks of what you can get outside your salary.
Oh, so what does that imply? That they can go without their salaries for as long as
their salary is just kept aside. They pursue corrupt money. And the point is this: we have to now address in what way our contribution to nation building in following this corruption on individual grounds. That is why the previous government said the change starts with me. Look at it.
But the change didn't even start with them also. Ibrahim, we have to go now. Regards to...
I have to go, please. I have two contributions to make.
Let's be faster with it then. Yeah.
How do we have a change when you are not ready to change as an individual? It's like we are all working towards the same corrupt system in the country. So to get the change becomes difficult. That's all about that.
Okay.
My second contribution is on your previous discussion.
Good. Shows that you have been with us from the beginning. Go ahead, please.
About the state of the nation.
Yeah.
Where you talked about hope, the next level hope. In any system where reforms are being implemented, there's always a barometer to check the progress of that policy. No barometer has shown any progress in this policy today. Almost 2 years now since the dropping of this subsidy. Nigerians have been suffering. No iota of hope in any direction. Everything's moving from bad to worse. And all the signals we are getting from government and the Bretton Woods organization like the World Bank and IMF is that the government is progressing. Where is the progress? If there were progress, the national and the citizens will not be crying of hunger every day. The commonest food to Nigeria, Gary, has become unaffordable to Nigerians. So where is the progress? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Regards to Ogwa's people. Now, without undermining his point, I think we also need to also, I believe in balance.
Yeah.
So much so that I had a publication called Balance Magazine. Now, so I expect that we should also take this from the government side when the government says, for example, that before coming on board, we were using about 90-something% of our resources to pay for debts. But right now,
recurrent expenditure.
Exactly, but right now, that has really gone down. Yeah. And I think that that's a plus.
Correct.
It might take some time before the impact is felt, but it's definitely a plus, because it then means that we were gasping for breath before now. Yeah. So, but let's quickly make progress. And so I have a feeling that our priorities are not right on the Bobrisky VDM saga. I am interested as a person to know this very powerful godfather that I can run to if I commit a crime. I will make sure that I enjoy opulence while in so-called prison. Yeah. Maybe we'll leave this there. Or you're itching to say something. Maybe we'll leave this. Yeah. And then if we can take one more, maybe just about 10 minutes on this next one. Yeah. And what should we be looking at now? The Ondo upcoming elections or the PDP? I don't really know. Okay, let's do
your tick.
No, fuel. we talked about Dangote swing,
Okay.
NNPCL and all that. Even though it's now quite it has become a debate. There's this back and forth. The issues were that Dangote took out a lawsuit asking that NNPCL should ensure that there are no more imports unless, because that's the agreement, unless there is a shortfall in supply, because it has a negative impact on its own business. And that while that suit, what now brought forth that suit was the fact that some NNPCL and some other marketers were being allowed to import fuel at that point in time. But I think that some of these things have now been overtaken. But because it's in the media space, I think we should talk about it, because fuel is a huge determinant of whether we live or die in this country. And UNISA wants to
One
go
of the
for
concepts in our constitution or in the law is that we should recognize local content.
Yeah.
And Dangote, as an individual, had taken the bold step to put together a refinery to which a government could not do all this work.
Yes.
I think, again, number one, he needs to be applauded. Number two, that if he is allowed, both direct and indirect jobs and wealth will be created. Two, the government should feel ashamed of itself, having been on board. They kept shifting the resumption of Warri and refinery. I don't even know. I lost count of the
number of times.
Date now. All right. So why don't they give him that opportunity while they fix? Again, like I said, if we want to take care of this, you see, there is something they are not telling us, whether from the side of Dangote or from the side of government. But again, Nigerians deserve the right to hear the true story. But I don't really need to have any true story, because you already have what we call local content. So what happens to it? What happens to it? Should we push it aside because of your own selfishness or interest? No, now.
Let me come to you quickly, right back. We need to determine who exactly is selfish in this matter. Because the issue at stake is Dangote insisting, quote unquote, that he should be the only person selling fuel as at that point in time. Yeah, because what it means is that it's also like pushing for a monopolistic market, which in the long run is not going to help the ordinary citizen. Now let me just finish. And I'm aggregating the opinions of several persons and some authorities, that everything that Dangote has ever handled in this country has always been for the worse for the people. When it got into salt price went up. When it got into sugar, prices of sugar went up. When it got into cement, more very recently, we saw that cement that used to sell for less than maybe 2,000 naira prior to about a year or 2 or 3 ago is going for as high as, am I correct, or am I telling a lie? 7,000 as at the last count, 7,000 plus. Correct. So now, how does it, based on that pedigree, how are we safe to, how do we feel safe in the hands of Dangote even in this particular era? Because come to think of it, even as we speak, all the hope we had at the beginning, a few months back, that once the Dangote refinery comes on stream, that the price of fuel will revert back, has been dashed.
I wish I expected government to come out and tell us the whole truth and nothing but.
So there's something.
Before now, we used to have a marketing board. No, they regulate prices of products.
Okay,
we used to have it then. Whatever
marketing
board or something. Yes. Whatever government says is 5 naira is 5 naira. You can't change it. That is the duty
because
of
the profit has been embedded in that.
Absolutely. That is the role of government. Is government playing our own role? You want to give people the opportunity. Why don't you open up for more people to come on board?
Good.
More people to come on board. And that is why I am advocating that the federal government, just few days ago, they said that illegal bunkering, they destroyed their refinery and co. I am saying no. One, destroying it, you are destroying the environment the more. Why don't you bring them, you are the president, bring them on a round table and say, from today, you are no longer illegal. Me, president, I've made you legal. Produce me fuel. NNPC, regulate them. CAC, register them. FIRS, let them pay tax. And all of that. You create jobs and all of whatever is needed in that circle. That again, because everybody wants to make money, they will employ people. Because they want to create jobs, they will employ more people. And well, so because they have small modular refineries, a lot of this fuel will be surplus. Sir, whether we like it or not, the price will be drastically reduced. I was in Benin Republic. I saw they are selling Nigerian fuel versus their own country fuel. Side by Nigeria is cheaper than their own. Nigerian fuel from Nigeria is cheaper. It's cheaper. So everybody will go for that of Nigeria because they are not allowing
and it. Which will put a higher demand on the on the product.
So why don't we create that atmosphere where you have multiple refiners? Everybody is trying to refine and sell to the people. Sir, we have a population that we don't even know the count. The last time we had a population census was 20.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone in the studio.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay, my name is Michael. I'm calling from Cross River State.
You have a special anointed hand of getting through. Go ahead. But this time around, you have exactly 45 seconds.
Okay. I think I will exhaust that. But quickly, let me contribute a bit on the issue of Dangote.
Yeah.
You see, it's just unfortunate that what is going on in this country is very funny. Because if we are not carefully the way we are heading, I think we'll wake up one day and then one person will only be in a position to decide on us, even an ordinary air that actually came from God that we are breathing. And then it will not be it will not be funny, honestly. And if on the importation of petroleum, then being licensed, to bring out a product, or let me not even use the oil sector, and then other people are in the same businesses, and then you see because of selfish interest and certain cabal that are benefiting from this, they went to court, to look for a way to stop me on trading. They're only for one person to decide on the product that more than 200 Nigerians, citizens of this country, will be consuming. And then I think it's something that we should be look at it with one eye. It's something that we should rise up and honestly put it to rest, because the way he's heading, it's just a thing. He should see the light of the day. Honestly, I think we will get to a position that only one person will decide and determine the life we are living in this country. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Architect Barrister Okon. So now, even as we begin to round up, we have about 7 minutes. Let's have a summary of your take on the 3 issues we have done today, Ambassador.
Basically, the first.
You remember? Yeah.
The first we're talking about expectation of Nigerians,
yeah.
And I said that expectations, the key expectations are out there. You have actually said subsidy gone. Please, where are the alternatives that will reduce the strain, the suffering? Nigeria? Right. You have said that CNG buses are coming. Let us have them. You also said that there's checks on the ministers, ministerial performance bond. Can you make it happen? You have said, so there are a couple of things that have been said. The youth have said, give us opportunity to do job. I love what you rolled out to say there's going to be one month, of the youth coming together.
Yes, youth confab.
Youth confab for 1 month. That would be fantastic if it can be properly put together. If it is not properly managed, it will just be a waste. But it needs to be properly managed to be able to harness, because the youth can really jumpstart this country. most of the leaders that we have, the Awolowos of this world, you know, all of them, they were in their youth when they came on board. So if you can actually muster to put youth together in diverse environment for 30 days, you know, it's going to be fantastic, you know, so that youth can really come and think their future. They can come and look at and be able to really understand how things play. You know, and so quite a number of things that he has said he want to do, and quite a number of demands that they have actually placed on him. I'm thinking that let's let him start actioning some of those things, especially from the low-hanging ones. There are low-hanging fruit that by now I don't know why they are not there.
These low-hanging fruits, would you include the 250,000 naira demand minimum wage, considering where we are in terms of costs right now?
I'm being very careful to just say 250,
because that was one of those demands. You remember
250,000 that you're talking about, even the 70,000 that has been passed, the Labour Congress is still engaging the state government to be able to pay. You see, sometimes we are quick to think that it is the federal government minimum wage we're talking about. He's saying minimum wage for Nigerians. No, I think that we also, that's an issue on its own. I think that the minimum wage that we currently practice is civil servants minimum wage. Correct.
Which can actually be enforced to be minimum wage across board, which is to say, even if you are employing in the private sector, this is the minimum you can pay. But as of today, that's not what
but that's what it should be.
That's what it should be, but that's not what it is.
So it's gradually that everybody will migrate there. You see, some state government, look at Lagos State, that says 85. You've looked at some other states,
Kogi says 72.
So a number of people are just taking that 70 and they surpass it. So for me, really, I won't stay here and say 250, you know, with fiat. No, because I know that 250 will just be on the paper. Nobody will implement it. It won't be implementable. Yeah.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Ade. Thank you very much for the program.
Yeah, thank you, Ade. For your own purpose, for your own benefit and our benefit, you are advised to reduce the volume of your TV set so that the world can hear you.
I've moved away.
Thank you.
I just want to thank the man that mentioned the issue of Dangote. When they were saying that the increase for that side, they say, we should not worry that once Dangote is on board, the refinery, everything will crash to like 150, 200. In fact, one of your sister agencies, CVC to be precise, they used to say it that time, and it's unfortunate. They back down now. What are they saying? Now people fueling their car with as high as 100,000 and you are collecting
for a small car. Yeah.
See, the Nigerian government, the evil they are doing to Nigerians, one day, God will make it for them. That's just what we say. I'm sorry to use heavy words, but they should take note that this thing will not last forever. People are suffering. People are stranded in their own country. God created this crude oil under us here, on the air, inside the earth. And God gave it to us, willingly. Look at what they are doing to us. I served in NNPCL 2007. They have been doing total turnaround maintenance of that refinery. Up till now, sir, they have not finished. The other time, they fire gas and they say they have started. Have they started producing now? What goes on with the money allocated for years? They are making Nigerians, they are doing anything they want to do to us as if we don't have future. But they should not worry. A time will come whereby Nigerian people will rise up and start asking their leaders, what are they doing with their resources? They will say, go to other country, go and see how the welfare, the fuel prices. But do they have the same social services?
Ade, I feel your pain. I understand you entirely, but we need to go. We need to go.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
And so we're talking about refineries that have been repaired forever, and while idle staffers are being paid.
Yeah,
now, quickly, so, sir.
You know, the only thing I can say in summary, or to round up what we have been saying, is simple, that the government needs to take a deliberate decision backed with political will, good political will, and be steadfast.
All right.
Simple.
Now, in 30 seconds, VDM Bobrisky, your last line. Get ready to.
Okay. No. I want to encourage Nigerians to speak up whenever they see the ills. I love what VeryDarkMan has done, but I'm only saying, please, even as you do this, please separate facts from sentiments. Don't add to it. Don't delete from it. Just say it the way it is. The one you're not sure, just say allegedly, so that everybody's clear where it is. Yeah.
Simple. Just say it the way it is.
Correct.
Period. And that is what makes community report different.
Yeah.
If we start reporting what is happening at this in the 774 local government, we don't need protest because it becomes a shame. Thank God for social media.
Yeah.
Blow it up. The government will sit up at all costs.
Correct.
Simple.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
So here we are, just like a few minutes ago when we started, and here we are at the end of the program. I believe that you have been mightily enlightened, and some of your views have been shared here, and so we can feel as one together, and you can feel a sense of belonging and believe that your country will definitely move forward. And I must say thank you to you, Yunusa, for coming.
Thank you very much.
Gabriel, even though you have not brought us the brandy from the
this is not season, it's already off season.
What's it now, cashew and all that.
And
Ambassador, good to have you again.
Thank you very much.
Very mightily thankful to you, because you always oblige us when we call. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Viewers, thank you very much. Producer, thank you very much. And production team, big up. Bye-bye. We're out.